Hi, IASvideos.com is presenting you simplified daily current affairs analysis. The Cotains summit has been a resounding failure. Why is Cotains climate summit being termed as failure? What was agreed at COP24? What wasn't agreed? What will that be agreed? What it contains. GS Paper 3, Conservation, Environmental Pollution and Degradation, Environmental Impact Assessment. In this video, you can find detailed answers for all the above questions. The above article has been retrieved from hindustantimes.com, dated December 20th, 2018.
What we are providing here is just a 10% sample out of the full-length video. Visit our website iasvideos.com to join the course and to unlock all videos. We offer this pen drive course cash on delivery on Amazon.in too. Amazon will deliver our course to your doorstep.
What is the context about? In a media-dominated age, no international conference is allowed to end in failure. The Cotains Climate Summit is no exception. The truth is the exact opposite. The Cotains Summit was a resounding failure. Why is the Cotains Climate Summit being termed as failure? The size of the failure has to be measured against the urgency of the challenge it refused to face. A bare 6 weeks earlier, the IPCC had warned that the world had to reduce net carbon emissions by 45% by 2030 and bring them down to zero by 2055 if it wanted to keep the planet livable in the 21st century. But the conference turned its back on the warning. There was no agreement on financing and little of it even on verification methods to be used for assessing claims of carbon reduction. There was no consensus even on whether the conference should accept a reduction of the limit to global warming by 2100 from 2 degrees Celsius to 1.5 degrees Celsius. What was agreed at COP24? Countries settled on most of the tricky elements of the rulebook for putting the 2015 Paris Agreement into practice. This includes how governments will measure, report on and verify their emission-cutting efforts, a key element because it ensures all countries are held to proper standards and will find it harder to wriggle out of their commitments. This global deal is meant for climate actions by all the countries across the globe post-2020. What it contains. The Cotains package includes guidelines that will operationalize the transparency framework. It sets out how countries will provide information about their nationally determined contributions that describe their domestic climate actions. This information includes mitigation and adaptation measures as well as details of financial support for climate actions in developing countries. Besides transparency framework, the Cotains package also includes guidelines that relate to the process for establishing new targets on finance from 2025 onwards to follow on from the current target of mobilizing $100 billion per year from 2020 to support developing countries. It also includes how to conduct the global stocktake of the effectiveness of climate action in 2023 and how to assess progress on development and transfer of technology. What wasn't agreed? Largely absent from these talks, which had a technical focus, was the key question of how countries will step up their targets on cutting emissions. On current targets, the world is set for 3C of warming from pre-industrial levels, which scientists say would be disastrous, resulting in droughts, floods, sea level rises, and the decline of agricultural productivity. When will that be agreed? The key deadline is 2020, when countries must show they have met targets set a decade ago for cutting their emissions and when they must affirm new, much tougher targets.